Hi, I'm Nava, and welcome to my first YouTube video. This is my entry for the Three Blind Mice Vantastic challenge, and I want to start by thanking them for opening the challenge to viewers. The van I'm customizing is a Volkswagen T1 Microbus from Majorette, and I'm drawing inspiration from Alice's Restaurant Massacree by Arlo Guthrie, better known as Alice's Restaurant. I don't own the song, nor do I claim to. I'm only using it as inspiration. I begin by taking the casting apart. It's held together by a rivet in the front and a tab at the back, which acts as the license plate recess. I'm using the screwdriver from a Dremel kit to pry it apart here, but I would have preferred to use a micro screwdriver or a smartphone separator. Because this van is a Majorette, it has some nice extra features, like rubber tires and this metal spring suspension. The interior is also quite detailed, even though the body doesn't have the windows to match it. Instead of stripping the paint off, this time I'm removing as much of the tampos as I have patience for and using the flat black paint as a primer. I'm using Goo Gone and a paper towel. I only recorded myself applying the white paint, but I did paint the lower half of the bus red later. This white paint is an old household primer sealer, and the red paint is multiple layers of Apple Barrel Bright Red. Now for detail painting, I paint the turn signals, tail lights, door handles, and front VW symbol. The red and orange paints are more craft store acrylics, and the silver is from a cheap paint pen. For the symbol, I originally tried masking off the original tampo symbol, but that didn't work. Instead, I painted it on in a thick layer of white paint as a guide, and then painted silver over that. Once all of the paints have dried, I take the casting outside and spray on a layer of gloss clear. After applying a layer of gloss clear coat, I drill a hole for a screw with my pin vise. I should have done this before I painted it. I'm using a salvaged laptop screw and using it to cut its own thread, but the better way is to get screws of a standard size and cut the threads with an appropriate tap. I also painted the inside of the casting to match the interior. After some research, I decided to paint the hub of the steering wheel and the radio black. This is another cheap acrylic. To add some realism to the chassis, I made a dark wash by diluting my flat black paint and covered the base and wheels with it. Once I was done with that, I detailed the exhaust system and painted the bumpers white. The VW Microbus from Alice's restaurant would be incomplete without a load of garbage. Being the 60s, the garbage in question would have been mostly cardboard. I made some bags and broken down boxes in advance, rolled some cardboard to make cans, and added newspapers in smaller bits. Here's what the garbage looks like painted. In the song, Arlo Guthrie describes the van as a, quote, red VW microbus with rakes and shovels and implements of destruction. I made 2 rakes and a shovel off camera. For the implement of destruction, I chose a hammer. I made it by gluing 2 pieces of wire coating together. I also twisted some wire to make external strap hangers for the tools. I made a license plate for the van in Pixlr X. I found the color scheme with a Google search and edited the hue, brightness, contrast, and color balance of the rounded rectangle under Add Element, Shape, Geometric. In retrospect, I should have made the year 65 instead of 67. The number is a genuine early 70s Massachusetts plate number. It originally belonged to my father's childhood family car. I also made a You Can Get Anything You Want at Alice's Restaurant bumper sticker, but I didn't record it. Reassembling the microbus was simple enough. All I had to do was stick the glass, interior, and base back on the body. The rear tab did put up a fight before going back into its slot, though. Now you can see the rakes and shovel that I mentioned. I had to trim the rake handles to fit before supergluing them to their straps. The finishing touches are the license plate, the bumper sticker, and some dry brushing over the base plate text with an old silver paint marker. The finished product is, of course, imperfect, but I enjoyed making it. I want to end with another shout out to the Three Blind Mice for hosting this challenge, and a thank you to you for watching my entry. Feel free to leave questions and comments below, but don't troll anyone.